These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. You know what's really terrifying? That unfinished college degree lurking in the background, just sitting there waiting for you. That's where Southern New Hampshire University comes in. With flexible online degree programs, there's no commuting, no rigid schedule, and no more excuses. Plus, they have some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to learn more before your degree becomes just another story about what could have been. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state. Hey, weirdos, I am Ash.
And I'm Elena.
And this is Moabed.
This is Moabed.
Moabed, honey, how are you?
I'm not great with the state of the world.
Yeah, it's pretty bullshit out there.
One thing we just want to make pretty clear is fuck ice.
Yeah.
So
if you work at ice,
right off the
you
top.
have to be a fucking demon.
Yeah, it's pretty awful, and I hope if you're in Los Angeles, you're safe and you're okay. And we know that you're not rioting.
No, you're protesting, as is your constitutional right.
So, keep at it. Be safe.
Hold American flags.
Hold American flags for the optics.
Yep.
I saw somebody on TikTok say that, and I thought that was pretty smart.
I've been seeing a few people say that now.
So that it's not, they can't twist it.
And be careful.
Be very careful.
Look out if you see people, in trouble. Try to help them.
Yeah, but, really be safe, and I'm sorry that this is happening to you guys and that you're being,
targeted.
Retaliated against. That's fucked up. I know there's other protests going on, so everybody be safe and, fight the good fight. But stay safe.
Yeah.
Because this is really fucked up.
It's a very, very scary time to be alive.
It really, really is. And we didn't vote for this. So
no, the fuck we didn't.
I'm pretty sure that was pretty clear, but I think it's important to say it outright in these here streets because there's some people who are not saying it outright, and that makes me say,
we
what's happening there?
We defo did not vote for that.
No, definitely not. And again, know your rights, which I know in this, time and space, they're not exactly being listened to at this point. But when it comes to ICE and all that stuff, know your rights, know what they can and can't do.
You don't have to sign anything.
Yeah. But I know that it's getting harder to do that even because they're really just overstepping things. But we just wanted to start out by saying that fuck ICE, and we don't we don't agree with any of this, and
this is stolen land anyway.
so really, you
have a right to be here just as much as we do,
and everybody has a right to a dignified and humane path to citizenship if that is the path they would like to take.
And like Dutchie said, I don't fucking care about the piece of paper.
Dutchie on TikTok
I love Dutchie.
I love Dutchie on TikTok, and I agree. Like, that's, so take care of your community members. Mm-hmm. Stay strong, everybody. Mm-hmm. We'll get through this.
We will. We'll get on the other side.
And again, I don't know when this comes out.
42 years from now.
So hopefully
this will be out after the next presidential election.
Yeah, exactly. But I hopefully, that this is something we've been feeling as it's happening, and we would love to, say it earlier than this on the podcast. But
it won't always be like this.
Yeah, it won't always be like this. June 30th is when this will come out, so it'll be quite some time after this all started. So I'm sure you're like, hey, what?
but we felt like this.
But it's in the moment right now. It's June 13th right now, so we are feeling it as it's happening.
Yes.
And, check out my social media if you want to see how I feel.
Yeah, same. I'm back.
So, yeah, we just had to say something. We thought it was really important. But besides that, what has been going on?
With me?
Yeah. No, with the guy
little old me.
Who is me?
Oh my God, so much. It was my birthday.
It was your birthday.
Yeah, it was fun. I just vibed.
I love that.
Yeah, I turned 29. Birthday. I was like, what do you really do?
Yeah.
I used to be like, it's my birthday. Yeah. It's my fucking birthday. Yeah, I used to be really intense about it.
But I feel like as you get older, it becomes like you just want to have chill birthdays.
Yeah, it's just a day. I hung out with my little sister and her fiance, who's adorable. I love her fiance. I love my little sister.
I love them too.
You had to walk, so you couldn't be there.
I did. I had the Boston Children's Hospital Eversource walk.
How was that?
It was actually great.
You raised some money?
Yeah,
nice.
We raised some money.
I nodded.
We got to see people that, helped my daughter survive something awful.
That's pretty great.
That was pretty great.
He said thanks.
Yeah, we got to say thanks.
Thanks a billion.
And the girls were involved in it. We always take them on the walk so they can be part of everything.
It's so crazy. That happened when she was 4.
Yeah.
And now she's just a fucking adult.
Yeah. It's wild.
It's insane.
It's so crazy. And thriving.
I know.
Hell yeah.
Drew and I were talking about that the other day. And I was like, it's crazy because she remembers a lot of it.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Which is nuts because she was 4, but obviously it was so traumatic.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, the fact that she came out of that unscathed is wild.
She's just thriving now.
Yeah.
And while we were there, we got to see Lil Funk.
Lil Funk.
Which are the official dance troupe of the Boston Celtics.
I love that.
They're like these little kids. And I think it's in Everett, Massachusetts. It's like Funk Phenomenon or something.
Stop it.
And they have all different age groups. And they are some of the best dancers I have ever seen in my life. They're all so age groups. But Lil Funk is like the little kids. And they kill it. Watching them is unlike anything you will experience. I love them. Lil Funk really for cute. Life. But yeah, they're all amazing. Like they had the adult ones perform too. And they were out of this world amazing. So that's really fun. So if you get to a Celtics game, you'll probably see Lil Funk.
Oh, and I'm going to be at so many more next year, right?
Hell yeah.
Yay.
Hell yeah.
I don't have seasons tickets yet.
What else since we've talked to you, we went to the Jack's Mannequin show.
That was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun.
We got to hang out with Andrew.
We got to see Andrew. That was lovely.
Got to go on the side stage.
Yeah, that was really fun. We got to watch the end of the show from backstage.
I've never felt cooler in my life.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That was a huge experience. That was big.
Wants to come back on the show.
Big up. Yeah, he's going to come back. So we'll do another show with him. Mm-hmm. Hopefully soon, I think, actually.
Yeah, a month or so.
We got some cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, we do.
So, I guess without further ado, we should get into this wild case.
Yeah, it's yours. This is an interesting title.
Yeah, I would say so.
Title.
This is part 1 because there's a lot of information going to be thrown at you. It's Glen Helzer and the Children of Thunder.
The Children of Thunder.
Yeah, that sounds very ominous.
Is it a cult?
I guess you'll have to see.
Okay.
But this is going to be a two-parter.
Two-parter.
And This takes place in 2000, actually.
Oh.
So not like crazy old. I mean, that is
sort
old.
of.
That is pretty old. But like
25 fucking years ago.
To me, that's 10 years ago. So I don't understand.
To me as well. I talked to somebody who was born in 2002 the other day, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I can't.
Even though I'm not that far away from it.
Yeah.
Something about
I know, I was going to say, you're really not that far.
I'm not, but like 96 and 2002 feel like completely different, like things entirely.
Yeah. No, I get that.
You know? And I'm just old.
I'm just old soul.
I hang out with you guys all the time.
There's a Red Sox prospect that got brought up recently from like the minors.
Yeah.
So his name is Roman Anthony, and John found out the other day, and it very much upset him in his core, that Roman Anthony was born in 2004.
Yeah. He's 18.
He was about no, he's not 18. He's 20. He just turned 21, I think. I graduated.
Oh, no, sorry. I was reading.
I graduated in 2004. That was 20 years ago.
It said the 18-year-old was drafted in the second round in 2022. But still, he's what? So what is he, 20?
He's like 21, essentially.
Fucking insane.
But what's even worse is he was like 5 months old when the Red Sox won the World Series.
Weren't you
so
there?
when the Red Sox won the World Series, he was a 5-month-old who was then going to be one of their hottest prospects 20 years later. Which is like a very like, I just can't wrap my brain around that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It just really, I was like, whoa. Every time they come through, especially on the Red Sox for some reason, they're just so young that I'm like, you are babies. And I don't know what to do.
I mean, 21 is young.
That's baby.
We started this when I was 21.
Yeah. Wow.
Or I might have been 22, but I was crazy. Like around that age.
That's bonkers.
I know. I'm a fucking whole different human now.
Herman. Aren't we all?
Yeah.
So that it all goes to say that this took place in 2000.
Yeah,
so that
sorry. We really
feels like
we really digressed there.
It's been a long week. Okay.
You know what though? I think people are enjoying that we're digressing lately because they're saying it feels like old morbid.
I have seen a lot of people say it feels like old morbid.
Yeah. Is it because we're digressing?
I think it is because we're just like going for, I don't know. I feel there's a reason. Well,
the way I was just gonna like be so for real with y'all. We have to keep going. We have to keep going.
I feel fancy free, you know?
Almost.
I feel like we're back to the roots. So on the evening of July 30th, 2000, Nancy Hall called her elderly parents, Ivan and Annette Stineman, to check in with them. You know, she'd done that regularly for years. Nancy's mother answered the phone that night, but rather than chatting, as she usually did during these calls, Annette seemed as though she was in a rush and didn't really have a lot of time to talk. After a few minutes of chatting, Annette told her daughter that she'd have to hang up and would call her back later, since they were expecting company and they'd just arrived.
Okay.
So Ivan and Annette Stineman met while Ivan was serving in the Coast Guard during World War II, and they fell in love immediately. To the outside world, they seemed like a little bit of like an unusual match.
Yeah.
Just because Ivan was really quiet and reserved and he didn't have a lot of like big displays of emotion. And Annette was outgoing, very gregarious, very active, like total opposites attract kind of situation.
That's the thing. I was just going to say opposites attract.
Yeah.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Workplace stress is now one of the top causes of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal levels of stress. To battle stress, most of us can't just wave goodbye to work, but we can start with a small focus on wellness. For me, I think recently in one of the episodes, I was talking about how I'm trying to sit outside in the sunlight every day. That's supposed to be super good for you. You can also go for a walk, there's plenty of things you can do. And therapy is one of them, because a holiday is great, but it's not a long-term solution to stress. Don't forget that therapy can help you navigate whatever challenges the workday or any day might bring. I love therapy. It's my one day of the week where I can just go talk about all my issues with somebody who is actually, licensed to help me with those issues and has good advice. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast.
Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state. You know that moment at night when you're locking up, turning off all the lights, and you just want to feel completely safe before heading to bed? Well, that's what Simply Safe gives me. I've been using it for years at this point, and it has changed the way I think about home security. I fall asleep into dreamland knowing that there's a panic button right next to my bed if anybody tries to get crazy. Most security systems only take action after someone breaks in, and that's too late. Simply Safe's new Active Guard outdoor protection helps stop break-ins before they can even happen. AI-powered cameras and live monitoring agents detect suspicious activity around your property. If someone's lurking, agents can talk to them in real time, turn on spotlights, and can even call the police, proactively deterring crime before it starts. There's no contracts and there's no hidden fees, and Simply Safe was named Best Home Security System of 2025 by CNET. There's also a 60-day money-back guarantee, so visit simplysafe.com/morbid to claim 50% off a new system with a professional monitoring plan and get your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/morbid. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Despite those differences of character, they just clicked. Nancy said of her parents, Mom was the stronger one. They made a good team. Nancy's sister Judy also said this. She said they were each half of a whole, very in tune with each other. They loved each other very much.
Oh, that's precious, and I bet it's going to ruin me later.
Now, the couple married in 1945, and soon after, Annette gave birth to two daughters, Nancy and Judy. In many ways, the family was the picture-perfect 1950s American family. They got along well, and both parents were actively involved in their daughters' lives. Judy later recalled, our parents were always interested in our lives. They made sure we did our homework, they watched over us, and cared how we did.
Oh.
Ivan and Annette strived to give their daughters everything they could possibly need or want, despite their very meager means and limited income. They were the kind of parents who, like, kids come first, we either get or we don't.
So good parents.
Exactly. Now, in fact, Ivan, a professional carpenter, built the family home in California himself with help from his wife and the children.
Iconic.
Yeah. Nancy said, we were so poor in the beginning. Mom and Dad had to take old nails from boards, straighten them, and use them in the new construction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Despite the stresses of a working class life, Nancy and Judy have nothing but fond memories with their parents, especially like little outings. They took like family camping trips. They would take every summer, and they would go fishing on like fishing trips with their dad a lot.
That's really cute.
Now, when carpentry became too much of a physical strain, Ivan found work in the credit card division of Chevron, which is a national energy company with multiple business products and platforms.
Yeah. I've heard of Chevron.
You know, the job was stressful, and there were long hours, but it was pretty financially rewarding, and it allowed them to buy a home in a relatively upscale city of Concord, about 30 miles outside of San Francisco.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mass.
No. And once both girls had moved out of the house, Annette also found a job with Chevron, and they were earning a good living.
Nice.
All Ivan and Annette's hard work definitely paid off, because by the time they retired, they had invested very wisely and had managed to save a decent amount of money, thanks in part because of a young savvy financial advisor with Morgan Stanley. This savings and wise investment allowed Ivan and Annette to enjoy their retirement years, going on trips, fishing together, not a lot of financial stress. They just kind of could like live that easy life.
Living it up.
Yeah, it was really an ideal retirement. Like it looked like it was like their reward for an entire life dedicated to their family and hard work.
Yeah.
Essentially. Like
great.
they were that couple that you're like, hell yeah.
Good on ya.
Now, on the afternoon of July 30th, Ivan and Annette spent the afternoon at Coco's restaurant in downtown Concord, sharing a few drinks and a lunch later with friends. At one point, Ivan mentioned that they'd recently had a tech from the cable company out to work on something at the house, and he felt the man had taken a very long time to do what was, as far as Ivan could tell, a pretty straightforward task.
Uh-oh.
At hearing that, his friend Harry had joked and was like, oh, maybe the guy's casing your house.
He could be.
The four friends finished their lunch a little before 3 p.m., and Ivan and Annette arrived home 10 or 15 minutes later. A few hours later, just before 8 p.m., Nancy called to check in.
Yeah.
But her mother had cut the conversation short because they were having people over that evening.
Mm-hmm.
The Stineman family had always been close, and Nancy was not accustomed to having days pass without hearing from her mother or father.
Oh, no.
When 4 or 5 days passed and she hadn't heard from either of them and couldn't get them on the phone, she decided to drive over to the house to check on them. And when she arrived at the house, she immediately knew something was wrong. The couple's minivan wasn't in the driveway, which indicated they weren't home.
Oh, that's weird.
And on the doorstep, Nancy found a pile of the previous day's newspapers, delivered, but never brought in the house.
Uh-huh.
Inside, things were even more concerning. Upstairs, Nancy found one of Ivan and Annette's cats locked in the bathroom without food or water.
No.
After spending some time looking around the house, she found the other cat locked outside in the backyard.
Oh.
Nancy and her sister had always had pets when they grew up, and they had inherited from their parents a big love and appreciation and respect for animals.
Yeah.
So it was impossible for this to have happened on purpose.
Yeah.
Neither of them would have locked those cats in a bathroom or outside, much less without food or water.
That's
They
so
never
sad.
would have done that to their animals.
No.
Elsewhere in the house, there were other signs that something was amiss. It looked like they had gone through their personal papers in a hurry and hadn't put the house back together after doing that.
Okay.
Like, it was just a mess. And most distressing of all, and I understand why this really lit the alarm bells, Nancy found her father's wristwatch on the floor in the living room.
Oh, that
Isn't
is
that chilling?
Yes.
And it was like just underneath the couch.
Nope, I fucking hate that. I think I would immediately cry.
Oh, it would ruin me.
Yeah.
And when she picked it up to look at it, she noticed the band was damaged around the clasp, like it had been ripped off Ivan's wrist, not taken off.
Yeah, something is not right here.
Yeah. So very concerned about all this, she called the police and reported her parents missing. Investigators came a short time later and performed a thorough search of the house. But as far as anyone could tell, the only things missing were Ivan and Annette.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's always concerning when an elderly couple disappears for days, there was little to indicate they'd gone missing as a result of foul play. Like, there was stuff, but like not a lot for them to go on. You
they
know,
didn't find
like
blood or anything like that.
that's the thing. They didn't find any kind
no
of
glass shattered or
obviously there is signs that something is amiss here. The wristwatch.
yes, the wristwatch being the biggest one,
And the cats.
and the cats. Yeah,
They never would have done that. Like that to me would have been like really a problem.
bizarre.
Yeah. Also, a canvass of the neighborhood didn't produce any new or alarming details from neighbors. So again, there's really nothing to go on.
Not in my neighborhood.
There was, however, I know that's why it's really good to have like a very active and nosy neighborhood if you can.
Yes.
There was, however, one statement from a neighbor that seemed to confirm what Nancy's mother had told her over the phone when they last spoke. According to the neighbor across the street, on the night of July 30th, she happened to be looking out her window and saw two men she described as looking like Mormon missionaries walking up to the Stineman house a little before 8 p.m. Thinking nothing of it, because why would you? The neighbor shifted her attention elsewhere and didn't think about it until the detectives brought it up. Because again, you wouldn't think twice
No.
about that. Like,
And usually Mormon missionaries, I think, are like younger,
yeah.
like teens, early 20s
Like
kind of
dressed in
people.
the
They're
white
dressed
button up
nicely.
and all that
yeah.
shit. So while detectives in Concord are struggling to make any progress on the disappearance of Ivan and Annette Stineman, detectives 50 miles away in Marin County were about to embark upon a very similarly strange and baffling case as well. On the morning of August 3rd, the Marin County Sheriff's Office received a call from a Woodacre resident talking about gunshots in the house across the street.
Oh, shit.
When deputies arrived at the house, they were directed to a small studio apartment located just behind the house. Inside the apartment, they found the bodies of 45-year-old Jennifer Villarin and her 54-year-old boyfriend, James Gamble.
Oh, wow.
Both were nude, Jennifer still in bed, and James on the floor beside the bed. And both had been shot to death with a 9mm handgun.
Damn.
A quick look around the apartment indicated that the murders had not been committed during a robbery. There was no signs of struggle. It didn't appear anything of noteworthy was taken. It also didn't appear like the killer had gone through anybody's belongings. Also, the apartment would have been a less than ideal target for a robbery as well, because it was surrounded by larger homes, presumably owned by people much wealthier.
Yeah.
And it was also tucked away from the road behind the main house.
Huh.
That meant whoever had killed Jennifer and James would have had to know the studio apartment was even there in the first place.
Right.
This was particularly telling since the apartment was actually that of Jennifer's daughter, Selina,
Oh.
who was out of town when the murders were committed.
Curious.
Now, unfortunately for investigators, the scene was virtually devoid of evidence or leads. They had the shell casings from the 9mm used in the murder, but otherwise, the killer left nothing.
Okay.
A canvass of the neighborhood was also pretty discouraging. The neighbor who called in the report told detectives they'd heard 6 to 8 shots around 5 a.m., followed by a short time later, the sound of a car speeding away from the apartment. But they only heard those things. They didn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
The murders came as a shock to the residents of Woodacre, not only because Jennifer and Jim were well-known locally, but also because Jennifer was somewhat well-known nationally.
Oh.
She was the one-time wife of blues musician Ivan Bishop.
Oh.
In a press conference the following day, Under Sheriff Dennis Finnegan told reporters the couple didn't appear to have any enemies. And in fact, they seemed to be kind of beloved members of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Finnegan said, "We're still working on a motive. It doesn't appear to be a robbery or a random type of thing."
No.
Now, the case took an even more troubling turn the following day when investigators couldn't reach Jennifer's daughter, Selina.
Uh-oh.
From interviews with Selina's friends and coworkers, they learned that her mother had been staying at Selina's apartment while she was away on a camping trip in Yosemite.
Okay.
But no one had heard from her since she'd left a week earlier. According to her friends, this is completely out of character for her to not return.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Tom McMahon's told a reporter this. Now, the Marin County Sheriff's Office put out a missing person alert for Selina Bishop and began speaking to her friends to learn more about her life, like what's going on here. By all accounts, Selina Bishop was a kind, sweet, and somewhat naive young woman without a single enemy to speak of. Raised by her mother, since her parents were divorced. I think they divorced when she was like 10 years old.
Okay.
They had a super strong bond.
Oh.
And now in adulthood, they had a close relationship as like friends now.
Yeah,
like, you
that
get to
they
go
could be.
into that. According to those close to her, Selina had recently found work as a server in a local restaurant, and that provided her the income to move out to her own apartment, which was the studio where the bodies of Jennifer and Jim were found. Around that time, Selina had also begun dating someone new, a man friends had heard her refer to only as Jordan.
Smart money moves are all about getting more out of every single dollar. With Rocket Money, you can easily find forgotten subscriptions and have them negotiate your bills for you, putting money back into your pocket. With all those savings, Rocket Money practically pays for itself. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. You can see all your subscriptions in one place, and you can know exactly where your money is going. And the new goals feature automatically saves money for you so that you don't even have to think about it. Help pay off bills, put money away for a house, or just build your savings. Rocket Money makes it super easy. Rocket Money will even try to negotiate to lower bills for you. They automatically scan your bills and find opportunities to save, and then you can ask them to negotiate it for you, and they'll deal with customer service so you don't even have to.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when they use all of the app's premium features. I love Rocket Money, and you will too. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/morbid today. That's rocketmoney.com/morbid, rocketmoney.com/morbid. This part of the show is brought to you by Anua, the Korean skincare brand known for scientific, gentle, yet effective formulations. The latest from Anua is the Retinol Collagen Gua Sha Cream, a firming cream with a gua sha-shaped tip built right in. Have you guys heard of gua sha? It's that viral massage tool that moves fluid and tension out of your face. Less puffiness, a snatched jawline, honey, more definition in your face. Retinol firms and reduces fine lines, and collagen keeps your skin plump and structured. This cream has both of those things, arguably the most optimal combo for that snatched, lifted look all in one step. I am obsessed with the Gua Sha cream. First of all, it feels so cool to the touch when you put that on your face. It's just like, this is lovely. It's like a little spa treatment that you can give yourself. I like to do mine at night after I get out of the shower. I rub the cream on my face with the little gua sha. I'm sculpting that jawline, honey. I got it on the cheekbones. And actually, I had a facial the other day, and the lady doing my facial, the professional, she said, "Do you use a gua sha at home?" And I said, "I do." And I said, "How did you know that?" And she said, "I didn't have those little like bumps in my chin or like different areas like that." So she could tell that I was using the gua sha. And I said, "Oh my God." I just feel like I wake up less puffy in the morning when I do it the night before. But you can do it whenever you want to. I, 10 out of 10, recommend this product. The Anua Gua Sha Cream Value Set is available at anua.com, already discounted. Use code MORBID for an extra 10% off. That's ANUA.com, code MORBID. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think, or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid.
According to one of Jennifer's closest friends, Selina's mother was super desperate to meet this Jordan, obviously.
Yeah.
It's her daughter, and they're very close.
Right.
But Selina was like reluctant to introduce them. Apparently, it had only been a few months since they had started dating. She wasn't sure, but not content with that response.
I'm like, a few months 25 years ago is like years in today's,
I know, it really was.
Today's world of dating.
It's true. But her mother, Jennifer, was not content with that response. So she started stopping by her daughter's apartment unannounced, just hoping to catch him there.
Queen.
And be like, oh, here I am. I guess we'll just meet.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
I love that.
And honestly, it paid off because eventually she stopped by and was introduced to Jordan.
Nice.
Now,
you gotta know who your daughter's dating. I get it.
Yeah, of course. It's unclear what it was precisely about Jordan that left Jennifer so unimpressed.
A gut feeling.
But it was clear to friends that she had been expecting something different.
Oh, okay.
And it turned out her impression of him didn't get any better in the days that followed their introduction. According to Jennifer's friend, Selina's mother had developed some concerns about this guy after learning some more stuff about him. Jordan had told Selina he was still married, but he was going to get a divorce, which is like, he claimed he was about to inherit a large sum of money.
Fake.
And he didn't want his soon-to-be ex-wife to know about that money, so she would get half of it.
Messed up.
So he asked Selina to open an account in her name where they could hide the money.
Baby, no.
And she agreed.
No.
No. When
Listen,
someone asks you to
hindsight
do
is
that
2020.
shit, no.
But you're listening to this episode. If somebody ever asks you to do that, no, run.
No, it's a no.
Leave.
When they learned about the bank account Selina opened on her boyfriend's behalf, investigators became concerned that what they had been investigating as a missing person case might actually be something far more nefarious. Those suspicions only grew when, after talking to some of Selina's coworkers, they learned that it was Jordan who had told them Selina was going away to Yosemite.
Oh, no.
Yeah. One of them said, so McMahon said, supposedly he is the last person who may have seen Selina Bishop, and we want to know when and where that was.
Yeah.
The main problem investigators faced was, while they had a first name for Selina's boyfriend, no one seemed to know or had ever heard his last name.
And Jordan is a pretty common name.
Yeah. What they did know, though, was that Selina had a pager that she frequently used, and it had been found among her things at work.
Okay.
The pager was turned over to investigators who began combing through the numbers associated with incoming calls. To their surprise, none of the phone numbers were listed under anyone by the name of Jordan.
So he's using a fake name.
But there was a number that appeared frequently on the list, and it was someone named Glen Taylor Helzer.
Not Jordan.
When detectives did a background check on Helzer, they found no criminal record or anything else that would be considered a red flag.
Okay.
But there was something that did jump out to investigators. Helzer lived with his brother Justin, who had recently purchased and registered a 9mm handgun.
I knew it.
The same caliber used in the shooting of Jennifer and James.
Knew it.
Now, when investigators started digging into the backgrounds of Taylor and Justin Helzer, nothing about the two guys fit the pattern of a criminal, much less a murderer. Glen Taylor Helzer was born July 26, 1970, to Jerry and Karma Helzer in Lansing, Michigan.
He's a Cancer.
Not long after Taylor's birth, they moved to the town of Pacheco, California, in Contra Costa County, where their second son, Justin, was born, the last of the three Helzer children.
Wait, he's a Leo. Sorry.
Just kidding. From the moment he entered the world, Taylor was the center of his parents' life. Taylor was incredibly bright, very charming. He had this natural leadership quality about him. It very much drew people into him.
Leo.
As devout members of the Mormon Church, Jerry and Karma were more proud of their eldest son's engagement with the faith.
The Mormon Church, you say?
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that.
Ding, ding, ding.
But they really liked that he was so involved in the Mormon faith and that he could quote large parts of scripture by the time he was 12 years old.
Cool.
Neat.
Righto.
Yeah. Taylor's cousin, Charney Hoffman, said, "We lived with them for some time when I was young. I absolutely loved him. He was very influential in my life and lots of other people's lives. Taylor was very accepting, regardless of the fact that that's not always the case with people who are very religious." Mm-hmm. Justin Helzer was 2 years younger than his brother and almost 180 degrees his opposite.
Ruh-roh.
So Taylor was outgoing, had that way of drawing people in. Justin was very shy, often aloof, especially when it came to people he didn't know. Mm-hmm. That's not to suggest that he was a dick or unkind at all or off-putting in any way. He was
more
just very
reserved.
quiet, very reserved. And he didn't have any of the confidence that it seemed Taylor just exuded.
Okay.
When people would recall Justin, they almost always described him as living in his brother's rather large shadow.
That's really sad.
Yeah. Author Robert Scott wrote, "Whereas Taylor seemed to have countless friends in school, both male and female, Justin had almost none. He was painfully shy around girls and tried not to stick out in class." Now, when the boys were teens, they went to live with Karma's father, so their grandfather, Doyle Sorensen, a man whose Mormon faith was far more rigid than Karma's.
Doyle Sorensen is a storybook
Is
character.
A name. In fact, even some of the most fundamentalist Mormon followers considered his beliefs to be on the fringes of the faith.
Really?
Particularly with regard on hearing the word of God. On one occasion, Doyle claimed, for some reason, that the optics of this just made me giggle a little bit,
everything.
I just have to say.
Tell me.
Doyle claimed that he'd seen Jesus Christ on his front lawn.
No, that's funny.
I just why is he on the front lawn?
That's funny.
That's just what I gotta ask.
If I wake up and see Jesus Christ on my front lawn, I'm going to go take a cold shower.
That's what I'm saying. Like, damn. Like, you got to find some kind of levity
gotta
here.
pinch yourself.
And seeing Jesus Christ on the front lawn is definitely a point of levity for me.
Did he do acid the night before? Like, what?
Well, and this is what's even crazier. So it wasn't just a vision. Like, this was not
Jesus.
a vision. He saw him as a real corporal being on his front lawn. And what's even wilder is like, he didn't just bop in and bop out.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's several hours he stood on that front lawn.
JC is JC.
He's
Jesus Christ
chilling.
is just chilling.
He's just chilling. And then he disappeared.
Okay. Like poof, or like just like walked
that
away?
I don't know. I don't know that. I can't.
You don't know how JC goes?
I can't speak to that. But he was hanging out on the front lawn for a couple hours.
He cometh and he goeth.
He did cometh and he did goeth. Now, obviously, like, we can be like, oh my God, that's funny that he saw Jesus Christ on his front lawn one day. But then it becomes not funny when he has young, impressionable minds that are going to be probably terrified and believe this.
Can you imagine if Papa walked in a room and told us Jesus Christ was on the front lawn? I'd be like, well, it's time to call someone.
See,
well, I don't know what we do here.
What do you do? I don't know what the answer to that is.
You got to go to the hospital.
Like, okay. Cool.
No, you got to go to the hospital.
When you just go, neat. Neat. But to the young and impressionable Taylor, Doyle became a significant influence.
Yeah.
Because remember, he's well-versed in Mormon
faith
shenanigans. So he can speak the scripture from memory. He can he can do, like, so he's in this. Like,
it's
Taylor's really like, so this guy is now influencing him on a daily basis.
It's his grandpa.
He admired his grandfather's commitment to their faith and his spirituality, which that's okay.
Sure.
Like, you can admire someone's, like, if you're in that.
Absolutely.
And he even admired it when it was dismissed or questioned by others, which, that's fine.
Okay.
And that said, according to Robert Scott, the rigidity of their faith and the high standards set by his grandfather were also a very deep source of anxiety for Taylor.
Oh.
That was the dark part of this. It's fine to admire someone who, if you have faith or you have spirituality and someone, has even more, you can see it's okay to admire them for that.
Yeah.
It's when it becomes a source of anxiety that you have these standards set for you that you can't possibly reach, especially as a kid or a teen. So Scott wrote, Taylor had problems living up to these Mormon ideals. He felt guilty after what he considered sinning, especially if he masturbated. Consumed with guilt, he tried committing suicide at one point.
Oh, God.
That's a quote.
That's awful.
Although it would be many more years before Taylor was formally diagnosed with a mental illness, it was around this time that some members of his family and community did start to notice some strange behavior. So psychiatrist Dr. Douglas Tucker wrote in an assessment, Taylor, as early as 14, was experiencing ideas that were unusual and inappropriate. He was receiving audible messages by the age of 14. Taylor was told he had a gift of revelation, but he didn't know if the messages he was receiving were from God or Satan. Oh. That's a lot for a kid to handle, dude.
That's very sad.
That's a lot to put on a kid. When he was 17 and still ineligible to enlist, Taylor joined the National Guard. It's unclear whether this was achieved with the permission of his parents or as a result of poor processing on the part of the Guard. But either way, he was accepted into the National Guard and sent to Texas for his initial training period. As is often the case with young people who have been raised in pretty sheltered communities, the transition from a strict Mormon community to a largely secular and adult world of the National Guard was a bit of a culture shock.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Taken aback by all the swearing, drinking, and sexual activity among his fellow recruits, Taylor initially tried to preach to them in the hope that his words might convert some of them, or at least help them see the folly of their ways. Some found his words interesting, like, let's just see what he has to say.
Sure.
But most of them were just like, you're being a little bit zealous here. Like, let's tone it down.
You're being an narc.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/morbid. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply.
Now, once he finished his training with the National Guard and returned home, Taylor decided to take the first step into adulthood that almost all young Mormon men take by going on a mission.
Yeah, Jack Barlow.
There you go. In the LDS faith, young men mark their transition from child to adult by leaving home to another part of the country or even another part of the world to preach their values and fundamentals of their beliefs to other people.
Mm-hmm. Just not on my door.
No. I actually told some to leave the other day.
That's true. She did. And then we looked at really good no soliciting signs.
It's a no thank you for me. Until very recently, this process meant the individuals would be cut off from their families and their home cultures for long stretches of time until the mission came to an end and they returned home.
I think they're typically like 2 years.
Are they really?
I think at least the one Jack Barlow went on.
There you go.
That's Housewives of Salt Lake City, in case you were wondering.
I was. I knew Barlow was one of those.
Yeah, Baby Gorgeous. Well, Baby Gorgeous is Henry, but I digress.
Now, in Taylor's case, he was sent to Brazil to serve his mission. In his diary, there you go. In his diary, Taylor wrote, "When I arrived, I felt equal parts excited and overwhelmed. Excited simply because I was anxious to serve on a mission, but nervous because you're a little out of your element. It's a new experience and you're a long way from home." Despite his apprehension, Taylor settled in pretty quickly to his new environment and found that, like he had been back in California, he was very popular with the other young men serving their missions in Brazil. One missionary later said, "I very much enjoyed working with him. He seemed to have a genuine care for the people. I felt that he was particularly effective in teaching. People seemed to like him, and he had a very, very capable manner about him."
Cool.
It was true that Taylor found some success in Brazil, but at the same time, his symptoms of his mental illness appeared to have worsened during this period. Some people described his preaching and interpretation of scripture as manic, often going off on tangents. According to fellow missionary Jonathan Taylor, he would trying to discern thoughts beyond the surface of meaning is what he would do. Mm-hmm. He would also go several nights without sleeping, staying up all night to read from the Book of Mormon and analyze the text. And Jonathan Taylor, that fellow missionary, said it wasn't long before others started noticing a difference in Taylor's demeanor.
Yeah.
Jonathan said the changes in Taylor were fairly abrupt. Some of the conclusions and beliefs he began to draw, he'd state them more emphatically. He sensed he had been given additional inspiration to kind of understand how the tenets of the faith connected. So I think he's feeling a little more like, I am the word of God.
Yeah.
Kind of, he's treading close to those waters.
He was JC on the lawn.
Exactly. Now, becoming more steadfast and zealous at this point in his beliefs weren't the only thing that the other missionaries were finding off-putting. In addition to his righteous certainty, Taylor's beliefs and worldview had taken a little bit of a darker tone. Jonathan recalls Helzer dwelled upon certain cataclysmic events in the latter days. He would talk about his opinion that there would be the elimination of technology, which is like, that when you hear it like that, you're like, that just sounds like regular, like theorizing.
Yeah.
Now, in addition to his increasingly, though, apocalyptic vision of the future, I think it's when it treads into that like manic territory of like doomsday.
Like prepare for the absolute worst.
Yeah. Taylor had also become increasingly and eventually verbally frustrated with the mission's leadership. In Taylor's eyes, the mission president was an ineffective leader who lacked the spiritual fortitude to lead them.
Oh.
Now, according to Jonathan Taylor, that fellow missionary, if there were things that he didn't feel were accurate or he didn't agree with them, he kind of dismissed them by saying the church leaders either knew the truth and weren't revealing it, or they didn't know the truth and therefore he was not accountable to them.
Oh, he's above the church.
He's going rogue, folks.
Yeah.
Upon returning home from his mission, he settled back to life in California. And in 1993, he married his high school girlfriend, Anne, much to the disappointment of his brother, Justin, who was away on his own mission when the wedding took place.
Oh, that's
Poor
really
Justin.
sad.
I know.
You can't have a wedding without your brother.
Anne told a reporter Justin was hurt that Taylor never consulted him about getting married. As far as Justin saw it, getting married was a major decision, and he couldn't understand why his brother wouldn't at least wait 6 months until Justin returned so he could go to the wedding.
Yeah, all that actually hurts my heart.
Yeah. As it turned out, it might have been wise for Taylor and Anne to wait a little longer before getting married.
Yeah.
According to Anne, the marriage started to go bad not very long after they returned home from the honeymoon.
Oh, that's terrible.
They argued all the time, and Anne was endlessly frustrated with the fact that everything always had to be Taylor's way. She said Taylor had an unrealistic view of the world. He had never been able to watch television at his parents' home, so in our home, for the first time, he could watch cable television. He would stay up all night and then have to be at work by 6 a.m. He couldn't pull himself away.
Oh, that's
It's
really
like when you
scary.
like don't let a kid eat any sugar and then they
just
get to go to a
gorge
friend's house or
themselves.
like a birthday party and they just gorge themselves on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just cable television that Taylor had become fixated with. It was everything that he was experiencing for the first time. Having grown up in a very strict religious household, Taylor and his siblings had been denied many of the things most American children experience pretty regularly. You know, sweets, junk food, video games, television. So when he was finally able to access those things as an adult, he had no moderation.
Right.
Could not moderate what he was doing. Like it was just full throttle. According to Robert Scott, the one thing Taylor wanted more than anything else was sex like he saw on porno videos.
Which is not real.
He had no sex education and no sexual experience, so he didn't seem to understand that what he saw in porn films was a carefully orchestrated fantasy and not at all similar to what relatively ordinary sexual, active adults experience.
See, in my opinion, that's why you have to talk about it
Yeah,
earlier.
because then that's the first thing that he sees.
Yeah.
Scott wrote, he begged his wife for the things he saw, but Anne was not comfortable doing some of the things depicted on those videos.
Yeah, porn's crazy.
Obviously, yeah.
Porn goes wild.
In retrospect, Anne blames many of Taylor's problems and shortcomings on his parents, particularly his mother, Karma. As far as she could tell, Jerry Helzer was a laid-back, nice guy, while his wife was the more intense of the two, ruling over the family with a religious fervor she'd learned from her father.
I was wondering, yeah.
Karma treated Taylor as he was the golden child. He could do no wrong. He was deserving of everything he wanted.
That's so dangerous.
And Taylor internalized those messages, and then he carried them into adulthood.
Yeah, that's why he thinks he's a prophet.
And it made him very difficult. It made him difficult to be around. And it made it difficult for him to interact with people who didn't immediately give in to his literal every whim and demand.
Yeah.
Not long after their wedding, Anne's uncle managed to get Taylor a job with financial investment firm Morgan Stanley.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if you remember in the beginning, but Ivan and Annette were able to save so much money because they worked with a young financial advisor at Morgan Stanley.
The way that you just took this shit full circle.
I just want to put that out there.
Squirrel.
Despite having taken only one semester of college courses and having no experience in financial management, he took to the work pretty easily and he was a success. Like, he did well. His confidence, his ability to charm people made him popular with clients and pretty fearless when it came to making cold calls and pitching their services. So found his niche.
I mean, being a missionary, I'm sure it was probably easier for him to make those cold calls.
Yeah, he's used to doing that stuff. Yeah. Taylor's personal and professional success lasted a few years, but by the mid to late 1990s, things started to change. At work, his boss began noticing that Taylor had taken up smoking and was spending a lot of time in the evening going out to clubs and bars. He had also let his appearance and hygiene slip more and more.
That's gross.
As the days went by. He grew his hair long. He didn't do anything to make it presentable. And most important, he was becoming unreliable. By the summer of 1996, Anne had also begun to notice these changes in Taylor, what he described as testing out the, quote, sinning side of life.
Oh.
From what Anne could tell, Taylor felt he had been let down by the Mormon church and led into a life he didn't want and felt he was superior to.
Okay.
A few months later, Taylor and Anne's marriage completely fell apart, and she filed for divorce. Taylor continued to just fall apart, essentially, in the months and years that followed. And in 1998, he was let go from his job at Morgan Stanley.
Oh, no.
No longer able to maintain a job, Taylor began the process of applying for Social Security disability, which required him to be evaluated by a psychiatrist. On September 1st, 1998, Taylor was referred to an intensive outpatient program for individuals whose symptoms and mental illness severely impair their functioning and requires multiple contacts with a social worker and or a psychiatric treatment team.
Okay.
Which is pretty intense.
Yeah.
It was during the intake process for that program that Taylor was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, type 1, with manic features. This diagnosis and the need for ongoing intensive treatment qualified Taylor for Social Security disability payments.
Yeah.
And he was approved in 1998. A year later, Taylor excommunicated from the Mormon church for his drug use and a lifestyle that was increasingly out of step with the teachings of the church.
Oh, so they like kicked him out.
Yeah, he was excommunicated.
Damn.
And that's where we're going to leave you, because for part 2, we're going to pick back up where we began.
Okay.
But I wanted to make sure you got a full picture of who Taylor is.
I think we have that picture.
And what's going on here.
Yeah, my wheels are turning upstairs.
And I want you to chew on that for a minute, and then part 2 will take you to the thunder.
Yeah, the thunder.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thunder.
Well, I guess with that being said, we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
keep
it
weird, but not so weird that you see JC on your front lawn. Hey!
You wouldn't take financial advice from a 72 hours in a single day alpha influencer, would you? Same goes if you're in a car accident or any accident. Who you choose matters. That's why Morgan & Morgan exists. They're the largest injury law firm in America, and they've built a reputation by actually winning cases, not just talking about it. Over 1,000 lawyers across all 50 states and $30 billion recovered. Injured? Go to forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast.
In the U.S., there's a break-in every 26 seconds. But when intruders step near, Simply Safe Home Security steps up.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Using AI alerts, U.S.-based live agents help deter break-ins. Simply Safe, no long-term contracts. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplysafe.com/SXM or with promo code SXM.
Outdoor deterrence requires a Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplysafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.